Hey everyone, it's Chris from 8 Bells Watch Company. Hope you're doing well. Something came across my feed this morning and I thought, boy, this is a good opportunity for me to bring in some of my military history, some product placement, and hopefully talk about some interesting watch stuff. So 56 years ago today, this happened. And for those of you who are not aware, that's the lunar module, Navy helicopter picking up the astronauts who had just landed on the moon 5 days earlier. Here's another cool pic. These are Navy frogmen, the precursors to U.S. Navy SEALs, checking in on the astronauts and getting them out of the capsule and putting them on the carrier. So of course I have to talk about the Omega Speedmaster MoonWatch. Here's a great shot. You can kind of see it right there on the wrist. This is Buzz Aldrin. Funny fact, Neil Armstrong, when he went out on the moon surface, left his watch in the lunar module. He didn't have it with him. But Buzz here did. He carried it, and you can kind of see it poking underneath the sleeve of the spacesuit there. Obviously, there's the big picture of it right there for reference. So NASA basically put out this call to all these watch manufacturers, let them know the watch had to pass 11 specific rigorous tests in order to be approved for a special project that was top secret. Omega was the only watch that actually passed all 11 tests and was chosen to be the first watch to go to the moon. And I say first because obviously there's been others that have gone into space and then on the moon and so far and so forth, but Omega's the first. In addition to being on the moon, it's also the watch Jim Lovell used on Apollo 13 when he had to fire the engines for 14 seconds to make sure that they would be able to hit the right trajectory to re-enter the Earth's atmosphere. The one cool thing I think about this watch, given its age and its history, is that it really hasn't changed much over the years. The one right here on the far end on the left, that's the Hesalite version. You can tell it's Hesalite because of the cloud, or you see the glare that's kind of going around. It's a little bit more domed, so the plexiglass Hesalite crystal kind of gives off that glare. The Sapphire is a little bit more, because of the AR, is a little bit more anti-reflective and flatter, so it doesn't have that glare. And then the one in the middle is the newest version. It's the white dial Omega Speedy, which I think is the best looking one. Now I might be a little bit biased because I actually have one of these for sale at the shop, and I think it looks pretty cool. I think from the type of dial, which is like a white glazed dial, I'll try to get an extreme close up here. The red lettering of a Speedmaster on there, the contrast between the black and white, I think it just works well and is, it complements the watch very well. Here's a better shot so you can see it, and it's, the red lettering, the black indices. The subdials here are actually like a matted, or almost like a ground, so they're not glossy, which is actually a pretty cool detail. If you haven't seen this watch in person, I highly recommend go trying to check it out if you can. If you're near an Omega store, you know someone who has one of these. It's pretty stunning in person. And nothing against the guys who love the black dial. It's a little bit more traditional, especially those who love the black dial with the Hesalite. I get it. It's definitely the more traditional version of the watch, but this one is super cool. In fact, when I tried to buy one of these, I actually almost bought one of these at the end of last year. There weren't any. Basically everyone had put it on their top watches of the year list, and they sold out at Omega. So now they're starting to come back in. I think they have these pretty well in stock. Another important fact to know about this particular watch is that it only comes in the sapphire sandwich. So the sapphire sandwich refers to the sapphire glass on the front and exhibition case back on the back. You can see here, this is a close-up shot of the exhibition case that I have, of the watch I have. You can see all the detail there, the gears, the jewels, all that kind of fun stuff. Just an awesome detail. Like I said, if you haven't seen one of these in person, I highly recommend going to check it out. I think another cool thing about this particular watch is the taper on the back of the bracelet. It tapers a lot from like the 20 millimeter here. I think this goes down to 18. So it wears very well, and because of the links and the way they sort of hug the wrist, it's a great option for anyone who thinks this watch wears big. It doesn't, trust me. I'm part of the big wrist regiment, and I don't think this looks like a 42 at all. I think it wears more like a 40, 41 maybe, but it's right around 40. I think it has to do with the dial and the contrast. Same with that, sort of effect that the black and white S&P has. It doesn't wear like a 41 or a 42. It wears more like a 40. Anyway, I thought I'd bring that up. I was looking for content. If you have any questions about this particular watch or any other watches I have in stock, please reach out to me. If you have something you want to sell, you're not sure about value or something, hit me up. I'm more than happy to consign something for you, take care of the shipping and all that kind of stuff. Anything else that you need with regard to watches, I'm here. I'm your guy. Any other questions, please feel free to ask. And as always, I appreciate the likes and the follows and the sharing. I really trying to build a business brand here, and I'm clumsy with social media, as you can tell, but I think that's okay, because just freaking post, right? That's what we're all about, just freaking post. So hope you have a good evening, and I'll talk to you again soon.